What's up, everybody? This is Corey with the Grand Line Gazette, where we talk about One Piece damn near every damn day. I am joined here, as always, with Kev, and we just read chapter 1138, so we're going to talk about it. No intro, no nothing. We're going to get started with the cover story. Kev?
Yep. So we start off back on Wano, volume 24 of the Oni Child Yamato and the Holy Inari Shrine Pilgrimage. The base belongs to who's who. We knew this last week. We saw what the building looked like. It is interesting that he's the one that survives, but I guess everyone else is in some sort of prison.
Yeah,
So King, Queen, everyone else is kind of in jail. So
the higher ups. I think the spider lady she might have gotten away.
sure, but I think
But
yeah,
yeah, the Topi
Black
Ropo.
Marine.
I think the Topi Ropo are out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
like the King, Queen, Joker, all y'all in jail.
yeah.
Sorry. But the Topi Ropo, they just went back to their thing in Wano. They're like, look, they're
But
still trying to get it all together, bro. While everything's all
yeah,
broken, I'm gonna pick up the pieces.
and he may be the strongest, but he's the one who wanted the sword. So we see that he finally has the sword with him.
Oh, that's true.
Um, but at the same time, like we also know who's who has a pretty colorful past himself. He was the original, not the holder, but he had the devil fruit, the Nika fruit, which is what who Shanks stole it from. So I'm interested to see where this does lead, though.
I mean, even
And
I
he,
feel like even more so like past the Nika Fruit is like he is an ex Marine. He is
yeah,
basically a sword member, not sword member, who just went and defected and is like, I can actually make a lot more money on the other underground. I'm wondering what him and Joker really. I bet him and Doflamingo are just they were sharing all kinds of machinations. You know what I mean? And
or
it's
he could be a double agent too. Like he could still be a sword member as well.
yeah,
like
he could
like
still
ex
be an agent,
Drake
but I
did the
think
same thing.
he's just as far as me, it's like his personality is just like, hey, I'm gonna take everything I can get when I can get it, and I'll just wait till I
Yeah,
can get it. Much
sure.
like Jinbei, like their back and forth was like there's a lot of parallels where he's like, look, I'm capable. I've also been through it all, Jinbei.
Yeah.
And I'm following this guy just like you're doing, bro. But at any time, like just like Jinbei's the boss, he's the
hmm
boss. Last thing I'm gonna say about this, the thing you always say about these swords, they change depending on who's holding the sword, the size of them.
The size, yeah, because the biggest example is Odin and Zoro. For me, it's because Odin's like 80 feet tall.
But it's like he stole this from Tama, right? Look
I
how,
believe so.
and this is like one of
Exactly.
the giant human people, like you know what I mean. And it looks like
Yeah.
normal size for him, so it's like, how did Tama hold this? But that being
That
said,
was tough.
moving on to
We
chapter
uh we
Harley.
we jump back to a Elbath though. Loki, I thought he was knocked out last chapter, but he appears awake here. This is right after the barrage from last chapter from Shamrock and Gunko. He he says what we all have in our heads is you're the spitting image of Shanks, and that can't be just some random coincidence. So then he turns to Gunko and he's
Yeah,
like, mind
Gunko's
your own
actually.
business.
Yeah, Gunko's actually like. First of all, yeah. Like you don't need to know nothing about this guy. I'm trying to like equate like their dynamics to, and Gunko's side profile is cool as hell. She got the masks and like the wrap bandages over her face too. Like she might as well have the bandage fruit. You know what I mean? But she looks like
I
chic.
she's a true. We haven't gotten that she's like a celestial dragon like we have with Shamrock, where he is Saint, Figureland Shamrock. So she may just be like his direct underling, and he just sensed that
It
she's strong, so he'll use
it's
her. So I
gotta
don't think
be.
she's a
It's
celestial
gotta be.
dragon.
Or she. I feel like maybe she. No, I don't think the celestial dragons modify themselves though. I don't think they'll do anything like that. Or not celestial, but yeah, celestial dragons would like. But that being said, I like the idea of her being like maybe like under him since the beginning
hmm
because I'm trying to
hmm
bring like parallels to like stuff like always Black Clover, the Akatsuki, like
Sure.
other groups like this, But it's like I don't know anybody else who is talking about their higher ups. Like, don't talk to them or don't even like address them, except like Mayor Leona, her brother, like the red hairs, and then like the
Oh
blue
yeah,
hairs. You know what I mean? Like the royal families.
I,
So
I'm actually rewatching it. The more we bring it up, so I'm actually.
yeah, like the
It's actually
silver
funny that you're
people. Yeah. So it's
this
like
stuff.
it is like a very higher echelon thing, even in groups where it's like, all right, bro, like we may all be killers out here, but don't you fucking talk to them or don't address them. Like,
They're
know your
peasants.
place. Yeah.
Don't talk to them.
I don't know. I feel like there's something there, but that being said,
But and I found it funny because again, and we may have different translations, but mine and the next page said like Loki's like, well, you're not wrong. It is none of my business, but you can't blame me for being curious. You have the one of the greatest pirates on the oceans, and then you have a celestial dragon. These have been enemies since before I've been alive. So you can't blame me for wondering what the connection is. And he tells him, he is the older brother to Shanks. They are identical twins, but he went astray. At one point, we finally get a little bit of lore drop. Shanks returns to the Holy Land. Now, we don't get much information on this, but Shamrock believes he just loves the filthy world of the surface. So, when did he return? Was it to meet the Gorosei that we saw? Was it right after Roger's death and he was kind of like lost in who he was? I mean,
was it
there's
before?
was it for Rogers?
No,
Oh, that would
before.
be. What do you mean?
Like maybe while Roger, like while he was on the Roger crew, why wouldn't they like
Oh,
steal him back? And then he was back, and they were like, hey, make the choice. Like he was back, but then he ran away.
yeah, no. And I'm thinking like, what if he had like a forehead moment, like where he's like, okay, let me go back to Marie's Wall, try to get the antidote to whatever Roger's illness is.
Yeah,
But then
the main
once he couldn't find
character,
it,
the shonen hero illness.
yeah.
My heart, and I cough blood.
I'm a young pirate and I die early.
I was real strong for a long time. It's cool though.
It's cool.
Actually, it was
But
like a year, bro. You're really strong for like a year. But yeah,
it,
he's basically like, hey, this is kind of crazy. I mean, it's kind of funny. I hate both brothers that look
yeah.
exactly the same for different reasons. And when I get out, I'm going to kill both of you. That's funny. Let's all laugh. That's funny, right?
You know what I'll do? I'll make it my mission to kill you. What's that supposed to be a threat? Which isn't the best thing you
Yeah,
can
he's
say
like, you
chained
know
up.
this, right? Like, you killed my friends in front of me. Like, I don't know. And that brings up the question. Well, I get that they wanted Loki. Cool. You get Loki. You can fight back, control Elbaf. You could do a lot with that. Where did killing his friends and animals? Like, you thought he was just gonna cave? Like, for
Yeah,
real? Loki? Like, whatever intel y'all got wasn't. Y'all need to talk to them. Because y'all was sent on a mission, a failing mission. But, to their point, I guess I'll bring this up when the next thing, where they're, I think is their real
oh, sure,
mission. Either way, I
sure,
think the
sure.
kids thing was their real mission. Like they're like, hey, go indoctrinate the kids. They're like, we
Yeah,
could probably fast pace this if we take Loki, and then oh, it didn't work. All right, let's go do our mission.
yeah. We'll get into that when we get into more of the Herald thing. But I'm right there with you. I think this is like have been like they were kind of sent here to be like make the Elbath warriors more pacifist. That way, they became easier to control. I guess, in my opinion, maybe. But we finally get the Shamrock ability though, because we know celestial dragons do not taint their own blood with devil fruits. So it just actually once I saw it on screen, I was like, holy shit, like this makes a whole lot of sense. Why he would imbue the Cerberus fruit with his sword, which is something we covered in a recent video, all of the inanimate objects that have devil fruit powers. So go check that video out. Like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends. Um, but I mean, this was cool to see them get large over time as well.
Yeah, it seems like it's like his sword can channel the spirit of the Cerberus. It's also awakened, as we can see, because it
Hmm.
has the black clouds surrounding it. So now we are learning that you can awaken your devil fruit abilities through the inanimate objects. I don't know what a llama bazooka looks like awakened, but go check out the video we talked about. But this is crazy. It's a three-headed giant demon dog, and they shoot like they bark. They got sharp fangs. You know what I mean? Scary as fuck. And then they all spit out blades. You know what I meing?
This is what the wolf guy from Naruto wanted to be. Like
Kaiba,
this
Kiba,
Kiba. I was
Kiba,
like, fang
Kiba,
over
yeah,
fang.
Kiba
This is exactly
Inuzuka
what he
and
was.
Ino.
Hey, no,
Kiba
Ino was tight.
Inuzuka and Akamaru.
I was about to say, Ino was tight.
Yeah,
Leave my bugs alone. But
I meant Inu.
anyways, it's
Bug.
his
Ino was the
biting.
girl. You're talking about Shino.
Shino, I was. You know me more. You know me way better.
Hey, I know anime.
So
I'm a
he calls
nerd.
it his bite. It's my biting blade, which I thought that was pretty. That was pretty sweet. But I mean, that's a good pull as far as awakened. I mean, again, obviously it's awakened. He's Shamrock, the leader of the Holy Knights, right? Like it just makes sense that he's already going to be like up there.
So I'm thinking, because like the blades that it shoot, like it'll shoot out blades from its mouth and then bite down to keep the blade there. So it's like
Hmm.
its own sword. So
Oh,
it also there's black flames on the blade and around like the dog's mouth that you can see, and
Mothra.
I think that is from the awakening as well. So I'm thinking maybe he can make the Cerberus itself, and then after he awakened it, you got more of the bladed abilities, more of the you can detach like the head. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Actually, I don't even think the head's detached. I think it was just perspective, but at the moment, but I think like the abilities like its head spinning like on its collar, so it's like the
Sure.
blade is spinning and shit too. Like
Ah,
that's a
yeah,
terrifying ability.
I agree. It is hard to kind of get your head wrapped around like how it's going to be animated. So I do agree. It's
From
shit. Who knows? It
from
looks like they could be firing the heads
That's
like as
that
like
was my
yeah
first impression. I actually
as
didn't even
bullets.
notice the awakening clouds at first, and I thought
Yes, agreed.
on this page, I don't know what page it is, but I think you can see the black flames on the top. You know what I mean?
It's
And
on page 6 for me, but
yeah,
yes.
he's like, "Oh, what's up with that beast?" Yeah. Um, so I thought he was shooting out the heads of the Cerberus, but that's the
Hmm.
fur from like the shoulders behind those two heads. That's not flames. I thought that was like flames being shot out, but that's actually just it
Oh.
leaning forward. It's biting down on the blades to go stab him, but before
Hmm.
doing that, it shifts and its neck spins to make the blade into a drill and even more
Yeah,
dangerous.
that's pretty tight. I was thinking more of like
Scramble!
Queen,
Oh,
how Queen can like shoot like his like head off.
yeah,
I was thinking something like that,
that's
but
what
I
I
like
thought
the
at first.
drill as well. I like
But
that.
but then that makes more sense with scramble because it's like, bro, these are gonna be cool when they're animated.
I agree.
And then
And we're
Goku's
getting
like,
close. We're getting
hey,
close.
hey, hey, Commander, don't make a scene here.
Which,
Let's
I mean, dude, like they had to have like
hide your power level, hide your chakra. All right.
you don't you don't tell the leader of the Holy Knights what to do, though. You know, go ahead and mind your lane.
But he
I'll
just
tell you
became the
what to
leader.
do.
He just became the leader, so they could have just been partners before. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
But respectable partners. Like I'm still teaching you.
I will kill you.
Yeah.
Oh shit, my fault. My fault.
But yeah, Gunko's ability, she makes a bird that starts flying away with her arrow abilities.
Hmm.
Cool. They leave the dog there. Bro,
I mean, because yeah, is
Loki
that
got a
just
lot to be mad about.
retractable, or you just disenchant it and it just evaporates? Like that kind of sucks.
Much like Zeus's ability, I see it.
Yeah, because like the black, like you were saying, like what if this black flame like is like rockets, like, like it's just like missiles, like, and
Actually,
then
maybe
it
it
just
did. Because look, And the on I guess it's page 7, it says return, and there's the body, and then the head is like way out here with like the tongue hanging out. So I'm thinking, yeah, maybe they
Oh,
spin and then they shoot out, and that's the scramble. So it is both.
that's pretty tight.
Because
I mean,
okay,
either way, it's strong. It's
yeah,
strong.
yeah. What we're over here dissecting like panels. Like we gotta move
Hey,
on.
no. Hey, that's us though. Hey,
Yeah,
that's us. That's why you guys come here because we deep dive into all this little shit.
I'm like, because
Because
if we're dissecting these, like, there's so much more.
I mean, we're gonna have a couple videos from this chapter alone. I
I,
mean, we got the mural in the background.
okay,
But to your
and
point, let's move on.
bam. And now I'm on the page where they actually, with the black flames in the back, and they did shoot out. So, what all I was talking about was the prep to the head shooting out, where they spin and shoot out the torso, and they actually do that, which is crazy.
You said doo doo.
It's like
Anyways,
all
but
we're
you're right.
seeing. This is like the vector ability.
Yeah.
This is like what Vander Decken's ability on steroids. Like, all right, Vander Decken,
Oh,
like
okay.
whatever you. Okay, bro,
Yeah.
you're sending a ship. Cool.
And then we go back to the castle where the greatest battle on Elbath has occurred. It's where the Straw Hats and Road are. And you get the guards who just got their asses whipped who are blaming it all on Shanks because, they did just see Shanks. I get their misconception of the situation. I understand. And I mean, they're friends with Shanks. So they're like, no, no, no. Like, you don't understand. I know who Shanks is. It was fucking Shanks. Like, shut up.
I've seen him.
But
Listen. Try. I've seen him more recently and more often than you have. I know what Shanks looks like.
exactly. I've seen him more than you have at this point. Shut up. But as we know, it actually isn't Shanks. But I get their misunderstanding. And then so he actually defends him. He's like, no, that's not possible. And then I mean, Nami just laughs because
She still hasn't met him.
no. Am
She's
I
never.
tripping?
She's never met Shanks.
Wow.
She doesn't know what. She knows what he looks like, but she's never met Shanks. Zoro's never met Shanks. None of them have.
Wow. I guess I didn't realize that. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's just he talks about him a lot, especially recently. He talks about Shanks like a lot. And you used to do that when we first started hanging out 2 years ago, but then you didn't for a while. And now you do again a lot.
And then, so they even kind of like drop it here, like, oh, it must have been a look-like or a brother, maybe. And it's like, okay, we get it. It's his brother. After 500 chapters, you've already told us. Just relax.
Yeah.
But honestly, I never talked about his family. I heard that he was raised on a pirate ship when he was little, because I mean, he knows that he was on with Roger and Rayleigh, the whole crew. He's like, except for Buggy. Fuck Buggy. That's fact.
And it's like, yeah, I guess it makes sense. I mean, how many people do? There's like hundreds of people that you know that you're, oh shit, you have a brother. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
people you met through online, people just that you met through interactions and stuff like that. You know, oh shit, you got a sister. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, it's weird. It is weird, but I'm questioning when Shanks went back, and that's always going to be on my mind until we finally realize it. Because it's like, is Yuta his real daughter? Was that a part of his going back? Was that he got a woman pregnant and couldn't do like the normal give up your child ceremony or something like that, and he left with her? Who knows? I'm interested to see kind of
I'm not sure how
Shanks' background
canon
is.
Uta is. I know it's like she's a canon character, but the movie's not
Sure.
canon.
Yeah,
But she hasn't
or her
been.
power isn't, or something like that.
Yeah, but like the character, the little girl Uta, is a character in One Piece. We just haven't seen
Yeah,
her depicted by Oda in the thing.
main story or some shit.
But
Yeah,
I don't know if she's his direct daughter, but maybe he is, and maybe she's
yeah.
like on that island by herself. If she is, because she's part celestial, and somebody finds out, all hell's gonna break loose. Um, but
So we head
yeah,
back to Frankie with Ripley, near so they're called the Treasure Tree Atom, Frankie's group. The unbelievable how Adam Wood can be, how far he can see the Adam Wood, which, I mean, think about that for a second. He used to have to buy this shit on the black market, and it's just literally growing right in front of him, and he can't even see the end of it. So that's pretty shocking.
Enough for one ship was like all the money he stole
Yeah.
in Water 7, I heard. Um, but yeah, he's with Ripley, and he's telling Ripley, he's like, "Damn, bro, we can make a lot of money off this." And she's like, "Hey, maybe we should start selling it."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hey, don't get me started."
I'll make a battalion of ships. No worries.
um,
And then, but she tells him about the mural, and he's like, "What do you mean? Like, I'm a moron. Show me the ships. Go get Robin for that boring shit." But I mean, he goes along, and she starts going over the graffiti from eons ago. Some kids probably etched it right into the bark, and it fossilized. I found that pretty interesting.
yeah,
But
he's like, "Yeah, this is." He's like, "Where the hell is Robin? This is kind of a big deal." Um, but yeah, she says it was made in between 900 and 800 years ago during the Void Century. Now these were etchings, and off rip, like Frankie's like, you said they were made by giants, but all these aren't giants, as you guys
mhm,
can see in the mural in our background. A lot of these, well, actually you can't. It's kind of blocked off by me and Kev. But
it's all good. We'll
that
get
being
over it.
said, it's just like you have everybody we've met so far. You have the, well, we'll go on to it more when we actually see the full page.
Yep.
But yeah, and Ripley says this whole thing might just be a child's dream. So whatever the hell that means. Like, hey, a kid, is Oda talking about himself? Like, all this could just be a child's dream. Like, Oda said that he had the end of the story first. Like, he's always had the same end of
Yeah.
the story. So it's like, are you talking about yourself, bro?
How old is Oda? Oda's 50 years old.
Mm-hmm.
That's that's not very old. So I was thinking like as far as like what is his childhood like that
But,
maybe like he could be depicting here.
wait, his childhood? No, bro. Like, I'm talking about, like, just, he's a kid. And he's like, oh, I'm thinking about this story I want to make. And he's like,
Oh,
and it's got
gotcha.
dragons, and it's got fish people, and it's got that
Gotcha,
kind of
gotcha.
stuff. Like, I'm thinking just like little kid Oda is like, he's talking about just being a kid who want to create a giant story. Also, inversely, she's talking about like this could just be fucking random scribbles, mean nothing. Like, really, Ripley? This means
We
nothing.
but we
There's
know.
buildings. There's Kaziki.
We
There's
know
the
differently.
sun. There's the moon. Okay. Okay, Ripley.
Because I mean, let's go back to last chapter. They were so shocked by the blue skin of Jinbei. So, as far as like these, like we see a little bit of like these mermaids. That's all myth to them. The government has segregated them so precisely that they think other races such as the mermaids think giants are rare, and they don't even know if mermaids exist type of thing. Like maybe it's
And
just a myth.
and then it goes to like over 1,000 years ago. Like, yeah, we were all here still.
Yep.
We've had this constant theory where, at least I've had this constant theory where it's like Emu created the mink and the fishmen, like through their machinations. No, they've
That's
always been here. All of us have always been here the whole time. And they just keep separating us, and we find each other, and they keep separating us, and we find each other. Speaking of being found, we go to the Walrus School, where Shamrock will soon be showing up.
Yeah. Which is interesting because this we've also had kids before be the main objective. It goes back for me for Punk Hazard. Very interesting. You also have Koala, who was a kid who was kind of taken back to the Celestial Dragons. So I wonder if they're on a similar mission here, where they're trying to take kids back to be slaves, or maybe just fresh. I don't even know what they're doing with them up there, but it could be a plethora of
I
things.
think they're just trying to indoctrinate the next generation so that they'll be on their side. It was like, all right, we tried the old people, we'll just kill the old people and then keep the young people.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And if Colin
the
is
Harley
taken, that's
text.
kind of crazy.
This is where we see the.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true. I hope we get Colin's dad at the end, like sometime during this arc. I really don't want that to draw out to like some future arc.
But you guys, as viewers of this channel, we've already known who it is for a couple months now. Scopper Caban. I mean, it's just plain as day. And Oda's gonna be releasing that information here shortly. So pretty excited.
But yeah, that's when they bust out that Harley text. Saul shows Robin. He's like, "Hey, like, check it out. We got all these like sacred texts, and like nobody can really read them because they're so old and they've been loosely translated. But yeah, check it out."
And so it looks like there's a couple different versions of it. So that also then correlates to all the warriors of Elbath kind of believe in a different style of sun god, which is interesting, I guess. I guess I'm confused on what that means when, and maybe we'll actually see it one day. Kind of how that actually, like,
Like
give me an
styles of
example
sun
of.
gods.
Sure, yeah.
I that's
Is that the Mara versus Nika, or you know what I'm saying, like, or
I
I don't know.
I look at it more of from the three different passages. Well here,
Good.
here I'll take it from here. Saul talks about the story is divided into three chapters, and the third world is the current world that we're presently in. So we got the first world, the second world, the third world, and Nika's legend is told over all three worlds. So it's like it's like a reset over and over again. And what's common is he's always laughing and he's always doing that dance that we always see them doing at the
Mm-hmm.
parties that we saw, like Kizaru and Vegapunk doing with Bonnie. You know, we see the Giants doing. We see everybody doing it. Um, the first world, there was fire upon earth, humanity. So it's like, is that what we're looking at in this mural, the fire that's on the earth, or is that just like a new name for humanity? But we're gonna break it down. The first world, there was fire upon the earth. Humanity succumbed to desire and toughened the forbidden sun. Oh, and touched the forbidden sun. The slaves made a wish, and the god of the sun appeared. But the god of the earth became enraged, and alongside the serpent of hell, enveloped the world in death and darkness. They could never meet again. So I'm going to say the other two, and then we're going to go back and recap them. The second world, which I believe is the Void Century.
I
There is
agree.
was breath upon the emptiness. The god of the forest sent forth demons. The sun merely spread the embers of war. The people of the half moon dreamed. The people of the moon dreamed. Humanity killed the sun, and then ascended to divinity. The god of the sea became enraged. They could never meet again. The third world. There was a void upon the chaos. The unbidden shadows remember the day of the promise. Wow. There was a void upon the chaos. The unbidden shadows remember the day of the promise, and they hear the voice of the fragmented moon. The god of the sun dances and laughs, guiding the world to its end. The sun will return. A new dawn will come. They will surely meet again. It's all small, so I can't read it that well, but we're going to loosely translate these three excerpts, and then we're going to do a deep dive in our next video.
Mm-hmm.
So, for the first world, there was fire upon the earth. Humanity succumbed to desire and touched the forbidden sun. So, fire upon the earth. I don't know if this is a literal translation, if this is a figurative translation, but it seems that whatever was happening in this first world, where I believe is on depicted on the right side, with like this the
Hmm.
ancient civilization that they used to talk about. I think their problem is they touched the sun. They touched the mother flame, created the ancient civilization, and they weren't supposed to. The god of the sun appeared, the person that was protecting all this mother flame, but the god of earth became enraged. And alongside the serpent of hell enveloped the world in death and darkness. They could never meet again. So I think the god of earth, which is probably maybe Emu, released the serpent and they try to take back the mother flame.
Yeah, and it looks like it's right behind our heads though. But Emu's holding the mother flame, which is kind of what I'm how I'm imagining this. And I guess is that how you're looking at this mural? Is that this is a tale of both the first and second world?
No, it's the first, second, and no. I think this is a yeah,
Just the mural, not the
yeah.
words.
I do think it's the first and the second world.
Okay. I was only looking at it as this is the three. I mean, the first world is just what happened before Joy Boy. That was like the original Emu starting, I think. But then the second is what's depicted here.
Uh,
That's how I. But then the third is the promise of Luffy, I
See,
guess.
I was thinking Nika is the first world, so the sun god.
Mm-hmm.
Joy
I like
Boy
that. Though.
is the
I like that.
second world, and then yeah. So I guess this would be yeah. This would be Nika then. This would be the first world, or maybe a
Then it.
combination because that's the Nika picture, not the Joy Boy picture.
So then I'll say this: if it is broken up into the first and second parts, the person writing Zunisha here is probably the Nika user. I guess like they might have been a royalty at some point
Or maybe the
because then we
or maybe the Buddha
because then we
fruit.
see the ooh okay, I like that.
Because
Then you see the
I feel
Nika on
like
the left hand
I
side.
feel like we don't use Admiral Devil Fruits enough, but they do keep a
Mm,
selective amount. You know what I mean?
sure,
Moving
I
on to
agree.
the second world, really quick. There was breath upon the emptiness. The god of the forest sent forth demons. The sun merely spread the embers of war. Now, I think this is Joy Boy because he's a
Hmm.
giant, and the giants were very, hey, the old giants, the old world. They just went, they were marauders. They were attacking, they were destroying. They were like, hey, after Nika, like, hey, we got it together. The giants got it together. We got Joy Boy, and I don't know.
So
Maybe they
I
were inspiring people to rise up by like their
the
strength.
second world is actually something that is translated a tiny bit different. Ours were all tiny, like a tiny bit different, but mine kind of says, "While the sun lit the embers of war, those of the half crescent and full moons shrunk." There's been two half crescents that I've remembered in One Piece so far. Full moons that could be minks, um, Lunarians, but the crescent moon that has been Garling has the hairstyle, and then in the Blackbeard flashback, the like the little image of him crying as a child, it is a crescent moon as well.
I think
So
I
I
think
wonder.
it's either the people of the. I think these are some of some of me actually believes that one of these like the people of the half moon dream, the people of the moon dreamed. Like I think some of this is actually the people on the moon, because we do have the
Oh,
moon
sure.
in this background with the circles, and those could be like little continents, like little stations, like we saw with
Yeah.
the Nell,
Ooh,
because he
okay.
did go into a concave area to find it.
Very true.
The people of the moon dreamed, humanity killed the sun, and then ascended to divinity.
Invoking the wrath of the sea god, which then drowned the world.
So
But
I think
I mean,
that has something to do with the moon, because the moon and the sea are always
yeah.
parallel. So I think something with like the moon dreaming and losing that dream got them upset. I can't tell what that means.
I don't know if it's upset. Maybe. I guess to me, like this, how this is the first the world it was. Maybe they were kind of in power, whoever held the Mother Flame originally, but then like it just caused issues. But
It,
then Second
it,
World
it
may have been just an uprising of like a creation of a terrorist and Joy Boy.
yeah, because it starts with the god of the forest sent forth demons. The sun merely spread embers of war. So it's like
Mhm.
whatever the status quo was, the Joy Boy, we're gonna say the second world is Joy Boy, started like a
Sure.
spark of war. It was like inciting people to like revolutionize, change what they're doing, dream for something different, maybe create devil fruits as a whole. Dream of something different, inspire people to dream. The people of the half moon dreamed. Like us here, the people of the moon dream, the people up there, like in the actual sky dreams. Then they ascended to divinity. They created devil fruits, became divine. And then the sea became enraged because the sea is the antithesis of the devil fruit. That's why the devil fruits don't work in the sea, because of this right here when the sea got upset. And they would never meet again. So it's like the moon people and the sea people would never meet again. The devil fruit users can never touch the sea. Is basically how I just made that all up right now. I feel like that clicks. Moving on.
I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you.
And then moving on to the third world.
The third world is everything we're gonna see in this last final chapter of One Piece.
There is a line here.
Go ahead.
There is a void upon the chaos. The unbidden shadows remember the day of promise, and they hear the voice of the fragmented moon. The god of the sun dances and laughs, guiding the world to its end. The sun will return, and a new dawn will come. They will surely meet again. The best, the part about this that sticks out the most is the voice of the fragmented moon. That's the voice of all things.
That, and it's also, we find out that they would not meet again twice, but here they are about to be reunited. All of them. Surely this time they will meet, is how mine ends. So in the first world, he's not able to. Yeah, in the first two worlds, they would never meet again. But in the third world with Luffy, he's our main character. He's obviously going to meet them again.
Yeah, so he's basically like all the moon god, the moon god, the sun god, the earth god, the water god will all interact again for the first time in millennia. But yeah, the void upon chaos, the unbidden shadows, that's the D clan. Multiple people say that they are the shadows in the shadows of history. That's the people with the will of D. They remember the promise, and they are the voice of the fragmented moon. That's gotta be the voice of all things. And if the fragmented moon is the voice of all things, then that means there has to be some kind of connection between the half moon dreaming and the moon people dreaming, creating devil fruit. There's a connection between the devil fruits and the voice of all things. It seems like there's a consistent power source that created both. And it does have something to do with the moon. So that is very interesting because, as we all know, Eneru is up there, Enel is up there, and he will be back, and we see his ship in this mural. So, that's got to mean something.
Like 1-to-1, it is his ship, which is nice. Which maybe we'll see the original Pluton then.
So, huge cover spread. Kev, did you have any last thoughts on this? We will be doing a deep dive in our next episode, so stay tuned for that. But Kev, any last thoughts?
Uranus could be an L ship, but I'm looking for things that could be in this mural that I'm not seeing before.
Oh, and you guys, let us know what Frankie is blocking on the mural.
Or does Frankie have a place in the future?
Very interesting. We're going to record another episode. See you guys later. Thank you for watching. We'll be back next time.